Hello, welcome to my new channel. This is my first channel, so we'll see how this goes. I'm not really used to talking to a camera either, so that will be an interesting experience. I am going to be building my second van conversion soon. The first one I've done was just a small micro camper, as my cat has come to say hello. I've got a little Voxo combo which I converted last year during 2021, the sort of awful lockdown we had at the beginning of the year where everyone just felt really miserable, and it was miserable, but I had a nice little project to keep me busy, so that was nice. And I kind of finished that between between February and June, and it's kind of given me a little bit of a taste of being in a camper, and I've decided that I'm ready for more. Add on to that some challenges, shall we say, where I currently live, which is this flat here. Essentially, my landlord wants to put the rent up by 25%, which is obviously absolutely ridiculous. This is at the time when all we see in the news is that the cost of living is going to go up. We're going to be spending God knows how much on gas and electric. And, it's just what you need, isn't it, to then have your rent go up by a quarter. I already had the plans to do the van when I got this letter. Now they're telling me they're going to renovate as well. So I'm essentially being forced out for various reasons. I guess it's the time to do something a bit different and bold and build in van number 2 to live in full time. So I'm currently looking for a van to build. I've decided what I'm going to get, and once I found the right vehicle, I will give notice on the flat here. I'll move in with my parents for a little bit. They've got a lovely great big driveway that will fit the van on, as well as their own car, luckily. And they've got a little garage that my dad's kind of made into a little bit of a workshop, so we'll be able to do the build from there. I very much intend to do the majority of it myself. Sorry, my arms are down here because I've stroken the cat. My dad will help me with some of the carpentry stuff because that's a skill that he has. My boyfriend also will help with much of it because he already has a conversion that he lives in, as well as having done a second one that he's done to sell on. And I've already got the experience of having done a small one myself. It's a very simple, basic setup, but before I did that, I'd done nothing at all. So it was working from scratch, and I learned so much. And I'm really looking forward actually to learning even more, doing this a second time round, bringing in the electrics and the appliances and sort of more advanced carpentry and drawers and things. The roof's cutting holes in the van, that's terrifying. And having all these things all work together to make up a little home on wheels. And this will hopefully let me live a more adventurous life, getting out and about places that I want to go, because I love outdoor things. I love hiking and climbing and paddleboarding and wild swimming and all this sort of thing. I'd like to be more outside, more connected to nature. I do like this flat, but one of the problems that I have with it is that there's not really any windows to the outside. It's kind of mostly in the basement. This is the upstairs section, and over here I've got a window to outside, but it's just kind of like a fence and a hedge in the garden. You can't really see the sky, so you feel quite detached actually from what's happening outside, and you never see the sunrise, the sunset, the sky, because you can't see the sky, you can't see the weather. I barely, unless I actually leave the house, I don't even know if it's a sunny day or if it's cloudy. I hear the rain on the roof, but that's about it. I want that more connected feeling. I also think I'd learn a lot about myself, living in a very different way. I don't consider myself a nomad. I don't consider myself someone who is naturally drawn to an alternative way of living, and I know that's what a lot of people go into van life for. I just like to challenge myself. I like to do new things. I've been here a long time. I've been in my job a long time. I'm kind of just ready for a bit of a change, and I've decided that this is the change that I think is good for me. Look at it, he's just purring away here. He has to be involved. He's going to be going to a new place because he can't come in the van. I'd love to have him with me, I would, but you know, I work full time, and it just wouldn't be right to leave him in the van if I'm going to work or if I'm going on a hike. He meows for no reason. He just sits there and meows. So, you know, somebody would hear him and try and break in and free the trapped cat, and I can't be dealing with that. I'd much rather know he's somewhere safe. So I've got a number of friends who have already offered to sort of have him on a trial basis. So we'll find him somewhere nice, and I can come and visit because it'll be with someone that I know. So he'll be okay. As for me, yeah, the third reason that I want to do this really is about cost. I know these days living in a vehicle isn't going to be that cheap with the price of diesel, and as it currently is. I mean, I think this week it's probably the highest it's been in the history of diesel prices, but at least that's a variable that I have control over. You know, if I'm sat in a house and I'm cold and I have to put the heating on, I don't get to choose what I pay for that. It's either heating or no heating, and I either freeze or I'm warm. At least with the diesel, if it's too expensive and I don't have the money at the time, I can just not move around so much. I can find somewhere nice to stay put for a little while. So it gives me more flexibility in that sense. And, you know, I'm aware that there's obviously still costs to live in that will be applicable, but I'm looking to keep my full-time job for some time and work from the van and from the office occasionally as well, until I've saved enough money really to give myself a bit more freedom and have a few options in a few years' time. I don't know what I'm going to want to do then. Like, am I going to want to buy a house? Am I going to want to travel more? Am I going to want to live abroad for some time? Am I going to want to stay in the van or do something different? I just don't know. So the goal is to give myself enough finances to have choices in a few years. That's the goal. So yes, I'm having conversations with work at the moment about how this will work in terms of me being close to the office, security of having my laptop with me in the van, and just making sure that there's nothing that HR have any real serious issues with that will stop me going any further with this. I also need to get some insurance quotes for the new van, and then we can start shopping. I've already got a sort of a plan in terms of the layout, the features, the appliances that I want. I kind of already know all of that. I've been thinking about this for a long time and making lots of notes. That's one thing I would say, actually, if you're looking to do this journey. This minute you start thinking about it and you start seeing things and you go, oh, that would be a good way to do a shower, oh, that's a good way to do the bed, anything like that, just keep that like link to it. Put a little note that says good idea about a bed and the link. Keep that somewhere safe, because you will lose it. You will never find it again. I learned this last time round. You will never find that piece of information again unless you've actually kept it somewhere. So definitely recommend doing that. Yeah, so I think that's me. It's my introduction video. And now I need to go and learn some video editing skills, because this is going to be a full year of learning for me. Alright, thanks for tuning in, and catch you later. Bye.